I'm live. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. They better not try to give me no copyright for that. It's just stuck in my head. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. That light. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Who watched that show? Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Hi. Hello. The Boy in Blue, did you watch that show? Spectacular Spider-Man? Spectacular. Hi. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Jules. Hi, Templano. Hi, Kai. Hi, Queen. Hi, Kimberly Frazier. Hi, Katie. The Boy in Blue. Camp Powhatan. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Hush 420. Hi, Daya. Hi, Alexandra. Spectacular. The song is so catchy. It's been stuck in my head for hours. Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. I saw that on some list. They said that it's like the second best animated comic book series adaptation cartoon. And of course, they said the first best was Batman, the animated series. I thought it was interesting that they said Spectacular Spider-Man was the second. I was like, damn, that's good. The theme song is great. Hush 420. Alexandra, I love Spectacular Spider-Man. Hi, Trey. Karaoke Bake. Hi, Real Trini. Hi, Mel. I love that it had Gwen and she was voiced by Gretchen Wieners. Man, it's so funny that you call her Gretchen Wieners. That girl will always be the little girl from Party of Five to me. And Danger Will Robinson. And then Gretchen Wieners. I mean, she will also be Gretchen Wieners. But before Gretchen Wieners, she will always be the little girl from Party of Five. And Danger Will Robinson. I can't think of her name in This Was Family Robinson in Space movie. Lost in Space. I can't think of her name in that. And then also she's Gretchen Wieners. What's her real name? What's her real name? I used to watch Party of Five with my mom. That used to be her show. It's chilly. Spectacular, spectacular. That's a jam, Queen. Hi, Southern Soul Sorcery. Hi, Davy. Wrapped in my blanket also. Hi, Sincere. Hi, Kayla. The show was great, but then they went with busted ass Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, it was only 2 seasons. I don't know why. Hi, Marcus. I love Spectacular Spider-Man. I used to watch that show before middle school. I love Spectacular Spider-Man theme song. I love the part where they're like, the guitar, the little spooky. I just posted on Instagram, so well, like a few hours ago, because I was like going through some of the old theme songs. I was watching the Power Rangers theme songs, and then I was watching the Spider-Man, and then I was watching like the old Adam West Batman. Batman! That's all they said. Batman! And then it was like him punching, him and Robin. Batman! 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 And so I watched that, and then I was watching the old Spider-Man one too. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. So, and then I was watching the Power Rangers one, of course. Go, go, Power Rangers. Da-na-na-na-na. And then I ended with Spectacular Spider-Man. I went through all the old shows. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Love the Spectacular Spider-Man theme song. Spectacular Spider-Man is literally the best version of Spider-Man by far. You think so? I don't know. I really like Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse. I'm hearing that people are really fucking with this PS5 game too, but I don't have a PS5, so I don't know about the game. I also really enjoy Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is really the one true live-action Spider-Man for me. I really loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I felt like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was like the perfect Peter Parker. I felt like he really captured the essence of Peter Parker for me. The rest of them I did not like. So I really like when they kind of like switched it up and went with Miles. And I did love Into the Spider-Verse. I just watched Into the Spider-Verse like Monday. I just watched it. I've seen it a million times. I saw it like 3 times in the movie theater. Lacey Chabert. Thank you, Jules. That's her name. I was raised on the 90s cartoon. I agree with Batman. Spectacular Spider-Man is one of, if not the best Spider-Man adaptation. It was excellent, a very comics accurate Mary Jane. Hi, Ashley. Hope everyone had a good week. I did hear about the HBO Max news that they're rolling out all the movies so it's going to be in theater and on HBO Max streaming from what I've heard. If that's incorrect, let me know. But I did hear about it and I'm excited about it. I think this is actually awesome because I personally still like a movie theater experience. Hi, Bailey. I saw Bailey come in. I know you do too, Bailey. I still personally like a movie theater experience, even though I can't go to the movies right now. But I hate the idea of like everything moving to streaming because I'm just not going to get I'm not going to get the experience. I don't care. And people keep trying to say like, well, it's exactly the same. Like, especially if you have like a nice big TV. No, fuck you. It's not the same. It's not the same. Unless you have a TV literally the size of a wall. And even then, it's still not the same because you're fucking at home. Like, it's just not the same. You know, it's like when people say, you know, I could make that food at home. No, it's not the same as going to a restaurant. It's just not the same. Like, it's just not the same experience. So, it's a different experience. I'm not going to say it's like a worse experience, but it's a different experience. So, I think that simultaneous releases in theater as well as on streaming, even if it's a limited theater release, I feel like that's a good idea. I feel like that should be the wave moving forward so that the people that don't want to go to the theater and spend $16 on a ticket or whatever, you know, they could stay home and spend $30 to watch Mulan at home. You know, I don't know. That's not for me. That's not what I would do. But for the people that want to do it, like now we each have an option, you know, like people that want to go to the movies can go. People that want to watch it at home can watch it at home. And I feel like ultimately this will probably create more revenue. It just seems like a really good idea for everyone. I like this idea. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. Because they can't keep putting shit off. Like, they can't keep pushing shit back. So I think this is a good... And I would have been really upset if, like, the Suicide Squad only came out on streaming. That would have blown me. Like, I wouldn't have wanted it. So I think this is a good idea. Let me go back up. Hi, Ori. Let me go back up. Gretchen Wiener, calling her Gretchen Wieners is taking me out. Hi, Spam Samity Sam in the gym. Let's go. I'd cry if my last name was Wiener. Lacey Chabert. Yeah, that's her. Hi, Absurd. The Spectacular Spider-Man theme and the Teen Titans theme stay in my music playlist rotation. Oh, man, you know what other song I've been listening to recently? It's my superhero movie. It's all about me. Yeah, it's all about me. It's my my superhero movie. It's all about me. ROBIN is the name. All my super cool cape will be special effects. That's my song too. It's all about me, fucking Robin. It's my superhero movie. The other day I was like, special effects, and it will blow your mind. Because it's my movie, my superhero movie. You said Teen Titans, and I just like, phew, I was just gone. Anyways, sorry. I keep getting distracted from the comments. Whoa, that theme song took me back. Teen Titans, yes. Oh, got a new baby? We got a new baby this week. Started to take my mask down throughout the day for 5 seconds to show my face to them, and it worked. They weren't as scared and anxious. That's good, Alexandra. I'm glad. It's good, I feel, to sometimes, yeah, take your mask off and smile so they can, like, really see your face. Ultimate Spider-Man relied too much on Family Guy-esque humor. Jules said, is anyone playing the new Spider-Man game? I've been seeing so many of my friends play it. Oh, hi, World Lover. Literally just looked at my phone like, where's Seren? I love listening to theme songs. Living on the edge, fighting crime and slinging webs. That's the jam, Davey. I love that opening. It's really good. Batman, the animated series, makes me hella nostalgic. Spider-Man, the animated series, too. Disney/Marvel canceled all the shows that weren't based on the MCU, including the Marvel shows that were on Disney. Oh, I didn't know that. Hi, Sam. What a week. Singing along with Seren with the theme songs. Real Trini. Ori, I've been procrastinating on it for a long time, but I've never watched Spectacular Spider-Man all the way through. I know it's lauded as arguably the best 2D animated incarnation of the IP. It's only 2 seasons. It's not a hard watch. Hi, Tim. Oh, I did skip X-Men. You're right. I skipped X-Men. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the X-Men. MTON TV. Power Rangers Zeo and Dino Thunder were gas. What's your fave theme song ever? X-Men? Hello. Hope you guys are staying safe and having a good day. Miles Morales is excellent. I need the game and the PS5. They're buying up all the PS5s with these fucking bots. I feel like these bots, like using bots to buy shit and like and resell, I feel like that should be illegal. Like, I really feel like that should be illegal. I feel like that should be considered a form of stealing or like unlawful sales or something, because like they started this bot shit with fucking sneakers and they ran sneakers into the ground, and now they're doing it with like Telfar bags and like clothes and like electronics. Like, you know, they have these fucking bots that they just fucking sit there pushing the button and shit and fucking buying everything up. And it like shit is, it's supposed to be a general release. Like normal people are supposed to be able to buy these things, but these people have bots programmed to buy up everything. And then they're like, yeah, fucking $1,500, $1,600 for a PS5, $1,500 for a Telfar bag, $1,600 for some fucking sneakers. No, fuck you. That shit should be illegal. And I hate when people are like, well, we're just trying to make money. Fuck you. Fuck you. People have the money. People that have the money are gonna spend it. We just try to chase the bag. Fuck you. Fuck you. You fucking capitalist. I fucking hate those reseller pieces of shit. That shit should be considered stealing. I feel like that's what it is. Like, it should be something. It should be something. It should be illegal. Like, it's not the same as, like, you know, when I was fucking buying fucking sneakers and you fucking go with your friend to the fucking Stop and Shop parking lot. Like, come with me, bring the baseball bat. Like, we about to fucking do this exchange. Like, it's just, it's totally different. And I really feel like it's like stealing now. And they're like stealing from regular people that want to get the items and have the money, but can't. You know, like they have the money to buy a PS5. They don't have $1,500. That's not how much it costs. And it should be considered stealing anyway, because like they're pocketing the profit. Like, not like Sony needs money, but it's not like the money is going to the manufacturer. How is this not considered like fraud or like counterfeiting? Even though the goods themselves are not counterfeit items, but I don't know. They need some type of new law for this, because I think it should be considered unlawful goods, like unlawful sales. I too do not have a PS5. I've been watching my old faves too, make me realize the quality of shows today are not it. We were just talking about this last week because we were talking about, you know, the people that feel like we're in a golden age of television. Are we or are we not? I definitely feel like the shows that are for kids, me and Fan 70 Sam were just talking about this. I feel like the shows that are for kids are definitely not up to par like how they used to be. It's like this weird in between space, like a sweet spot where the shows are not too mature, too adult humor, too adult themed, but that they're not totally corny and brain dead, like as if kids are dumb. There's like a sweet spot there. And it seems like it's getting harder and harder for people to like hit. I can watch some the Spider-Man 5 gameplay on YouTube. There's Bailey. Hi, Bailey. Tobey Maguire is the only Spider-Man I recognize. I see you, Tim. I see you, Sim. I'm right there with you. I'm going to get it again on PS5 when I get one. YouTube, that's what I do since I don't have a console. Yeah, like Tobey is my fave Peter Parker. But I really love Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse. And like I said, I don't know about the game, so we'll see. I remember my parents bought me the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man DVD for Christmas. For Grandma. The Miles Morales Spider-Man game is also on PS4. Well, I don't have a PS4 either, but I haven't had a PlayStation in forever. Spectacular Spider-Man, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes, and Wolverine and the X-Men were all canned because of Disney and the MCU. Okay, got it. What? Never seen the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? Are you serious? You've never seen Spider-Man 2? Mel, you need to close the live stream and go watch Spider-Man 2 right now. Hi, Naomi. Hi, Vanity. Nothing. We're just chatting. Tobey was definitely the best Peter. Tom Holland, SMH, that twerp. Hi, Nicole. I didn't hate Tom Holland, but I don't know. I just don't feel like anybody has really understood the concept of Peter Parker like Tobey Maguire. Like, Peter Parker is a loser. And I just feel like it's hard now, I think, for people to like view Peter Parker as a loser because like Spider-Man and Peter Parker like blew up in our popular culture in a way that it didn't used to be before those Tobey Maguire movies. And then we got like Andrew Garfield, who played like cool Spider-Man, which I didn't like. And even Tom Holland Spider-Man, like, still to me has a little bit of this like cool factor. Peter Parker's not cool. Peter Parker is not cool. Like how in the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, how Tobey Maguire is like a nerd and James Franco is like that guy. That's the way that it's supposed to be. Like, for me, that's the way that it's supposed to be. Stop trying to play Peter Parker like he's cool and like the other kids just aren't getting it. No, Peter Parker's a fucking loser. Like, he's a loser. Peter Parker has it rough. Like, his parents are gone. Uncle Ben obviously gets killed, which we all know. We've all seen numerous times. Like, he's a fucking loser. Like, he's a loser in school. Like, everybody picks on him. Like, he's sad and depressed. Like, the whole Mary Jane thing. Like, Peter sucks. His life sucks. Even when he becomes an adult and he has to, like, take these pictures of Spider-Man so that they can, like, make Spider-Man look like a fucking criminal. Like, that is Peter Parker. Like, Peter Parker's life is ass. Like, stop trying to make movies where he's, like, the cool kid or something. No. And even, like, him, like, Andrew Garfield just tried to play him, like, too funny and cool. Even the fact that Peter Parker is, like, funny and, like, witty and stuff is because, you know, it's like that sarcastic, sardonic, my life sucks, so I have to joke my way through it, like, type of humor. It's not like I'm that nigga kind of humor. And I feel like that's how they keep trying. That they're really trying to make Spider-Man like Iron Man. No, Peter Parker is not Tony Stark. Peter Parker is not Tony Stark. Stop trying to make Peter Parker Tony Stark. Like, they're not the same. You know, they're not the same. That's what I didn't like about Tom Holland's Peter Parker, even though I didn't even see, I think I seen only the first one. Did I even see the first one? I don't even know. But what I did see of Tom Holland's Peter Parker, that's what I didn't like. I felt like Tom Holland's Peter Parker, they were really trying to make, because, you know, especially like now they're actually in the Avengers world or whatever. They really tried to make him like a little Tony Stark Jr. And that's just not, I didn't like that. And Andrew Garfield, I just hated. Hi, Gary. Damn it, I'm already fucking behind. Fuck. Way behind too. Okay. One of my friends is Afro-Latino. Watching him feel represented by Miles and make him his avatar made me happy. Representation matters. Andrew Garfield was like Peter Parker from Ultimate Comics, a little more cool and less nerdy. But the perfect mainstream Peter Parker was Tobey. Tobey's the original Spider-Man. As cool as it is to watch movies at home, I prefer to go to the movies or a drive-thru. Hi, Christiana Way. Bailey, it's not even close. I know, Davey. And I'm trying to like let it grow, not cut it again. My hair. It's definitely not the same. I can't get immersed in the experience if I'm not at the movies. The Dolby sound system hits. Hi, Corgi. For the pandemic, this is fine. But when we get a cure or vaccine, I'm going to the movies. Perfect analogy with restaurant versus home cooking. I wonder if home releases will give us more exclusive content like director's cuts or something. Now, that would be cool, Bailey. That would be cool. I will not spend $30 on no at-home Mulan. And who has all that in their house, the whole movie setup? Thanks to Disney, we can't have nice things. I love going to the movies, but the recluses would love the at-home option. Daya, if it's not the real thing, throw the whole experience away. HBO Max is trying to get their subscription rate up, and this is definitely going to help them. Going to the gym, Corgi. Hi, Jaren. You're stuck in an elevator for real? Good thing service is good, so I could watch Bees Bake while being stuck in this elevator. I've never gotten stuck in an elevator in my life. I feel like I would have a heart attack and die from fear. It's good for me because much as I enjoy the theater experience, I'm not going to put my health at risk for it. Plus, going to the movies is how some people treat themselves. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was not it. Rent out the whole movie theater? I don't know how much that would cost. Queen put my CashApp. SerenSensei, capital S-R-E-N, capital S-E-N-S-E-I is the CashApp. Right. Jaren, you stuck in an elevator? Queen, you're hilarious. Hi, Valerie. What? Radio Disney is going to stop airing in 2021? I don't listen to Radio Disney, but I didn't know that. Interestingly enough, one of my earliest college professors' last name was Weinart. I will never forget, I had a teacher in high school who had the last name Feeney. So his name was Mr. Feeney. I was like, your name is Mr. Feeney? Like the fucking show? That has to be annoying. Maybe not now because that show is like really old now. But when I was like younger, I remember being like, Mr. Feeney. It's like $100 to $150 right now to rent out a movie theater. Me and my friends wanted to do it and watch Tokyo Drift. Why Tokyo Drift, Jules? I hate that they had a new face model for me. I hate that they had to have a new face model for Peter in the Miles Morales game. Why did he even need to take his mask off? Hi, Natalia. $100 to $150, that's a good price. I really enjoyed the What's New Scooby-Doo theme song and the Sonic X theme song. Hi, Mahogany Princess. I think the Spectacular Spider-Man Complete Series DVD is like $20 on Amazon. Hi, Lefty. I wish you could rent the theater and play any movie you want. That would be cool. I remember like you used to be able to do that for birthday parties. Like for kids, like rent out movie theaters. I distinctly remember numerous children doing this when The Lion King came out. I'm still salty over Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes from Disney DX. It was popular and they canceled it. Right, you can't even get a PS5. They were doing that with Telfar bags and raising the price like crazy. That should be illegal, Bailey. I really think it should be illegal. It's price gouging. I saw that someone bought like 500 PS5s on Twitter, tried to sell them, and then they got raided and robbed. And that's what I'm saying. When people be like, that's not fair, they be on Twitter and social media trolling, like, ha ha ha, well, too bad that you weren't able to get it. For the low price of $1,100, I'll give you one. Like, ha ha ha, why don't you get a buy it yourself? How about you stop being a fucking piece of shit and actually let other people get a chance? Like, fuck you. It's bullshit. This is why I laugh when I hear about scalpers getting their shit jacked. I'm mad that Ticketmaster won't refund me my concert ticket money, even though the concert is indefinitely postponed at this point. They really just need to cancel it and give me my $400 back. Bro, Daya, they will not refund me my money for the Millennium Tour. I was going to the Millennium Tour in Atlanta, and it's indefinitely postponed. And they're really not trying to refund money. But whatever, fuck them. I will never buy any tickets through Ticketmaster again in my life. People were price gouging hand sanitizer when COVID first started. And they got arrested. Like those two brothers in Tennessee or wherever, they got arrested. They said that was illegal. Yet they let people do it with like all types of other goods. They said that it was illegal because we're in a pandemic. And so you can't price gouge on items that are like essential items, like hand sanitizer. But I guess, you know, other type of goods don't fall under that rule. I don't know. They need a new law. They need some type of something, because single-handedly ruined sneaker culture in like 2010. Yup, Jules, exactly. It should be illegal. Poor people can't have nice things. Bad culture really got folks out here tripping. The entire Ivy Park line is on eBay with gouge prices. Price gouging is fucked up and you should be punished. Capitalism is a fucking cancer. People were doing that with toilet paper this year too. Hi, Owen. Hope you're okay too. Hi, Nikki. Nikki said, hope everybody's doing good. That's why I dialed back on sneakers, because it got to be overkill. Me too, Sim. It's like, I can't just buy the shoe. It's like, I can't buy the shoe from Nike, because now Nike, it's like a lottery system. And I can't buy the shoe from other retailers either, because like people have these bots. It's just too much. Like, I just want the shoes. Like, I'm not, like, it's just a hobby. There's no reason you should have to torrent a bot and wait up till 12 a.m. on release day to buy a PS5. Capitalism is a disease. Who even has the means for that? I want a Telfar bag, but can't get the one that I want. I had my PS5 money set to the side all year, but haven't been able to get one because of these fucking resellers. That sucks, Tim. I'm really sorry about that. That's really whack. It makes me really upset for you. I really hate that. They're cornering the market by buying up all the shit people want and then trying to resell it at exorbitant prices. The law is really not catching up to the internet in the 21st century. Oh, you're talking about the shows. Okay, the kid shows. The kid shows not being as good as they used to be. They aren't. I've been saying that about these kid shows for quite some time now. They're whack. I was just thinking about this today, about the kid shows. The Last Airbender definitely was it. Only Life of Gumball slapped in recent years to me. Kid shows are too sterile. The 90s X-Men and Spider-Man series tripped me out. They had all the characters diving on top of each other because they weren't allowed to show animated throwing punches. Hi, Muffin. Hi. Nothing like Blue's Clues and Gullah Gullah Island. I love Gullah Gullah Island. Regular Show was really good. I don't know if it's still on though. Was Regular Show actually for kids? I think this is a problem too. We also have more animated stuff, I feel, that is directly aimed at adults. I don't know if the Regular Show was. I didn't watch it. But like Bob's Burgers is not a kid show. Archer, which is the same voice, is not a kid show. Rick and Morty is not a kid show. So I feel like since we have more, I do feel like it's more animated stuff aimed at adults. I kind of feel like the animated shows actually aimed at kids have maybe lost some of the talent. Because before you had like great talented creators that were like making shows for kids that could like still appeal to adults. Now I feel like a lot of those writers and animators, they're just making animation for grown-ups. You know, I feel like that is maybe a part of it too. Mel, you need to go watch Spider-Man, and you need to go watch Spider-Man 2. By the time we do the next live stream on Sunday or next Thursday, that's your homework. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. Really, you should watch Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2 is one of the best comic book movies of all time. Sometimes I feel like it's the best, but my idea on what's the best constantly changes. But you need to watch that. There's Gary. Hi, Gary. The Amazing World of Gumball humor is borderline an Adult Swim cartoon. Their humor is too advanced for kids. Yeah, leave this live stream immediately and watch Spider-Man 2. Immediately. Immediately. I was listening to Nickelback Hero, getting so much nostalgia. Oh man, Sim! And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I better watch that after this. I have to watch the video because the video had the Spider-Man cuts. And they're watching us, watching us, watching us, watching us as we all fly away. And they're watching us, watching us, watching us as we all fly away. Spider-Man! The jam. Oh, you singing too, Real Trini? That's the jam. London Calling, Chad Kruger's finest hour. Iconic! Iconic! They don't know about these iconic jams. I'm definitely going to watch that after this now. Absolutely. Oh, wine art, not ween art. Okay. I haven't gotten there yet, but I saw it while I was scrolling up. Where was I? I hate how Peter is written in the MCU. The Andrew Garfield Spideys were ass. Hi, Savannah. I also feel like Holland is too wide-eyed and earnest, like he's trying too hard. Tom Holland doesn't have the acting chops. Andrew Garfield's was the worst. Hi, Chris. Peter Parker is like Clark Kent. Yeah, I agree, Owen. That's like a good comparison. Which is why I loved Henry Cavill's Clark Kent. Because I feel like Henry Cavill in real life is like Clark Kent, it seems, in a lot of ways. Just like really... I feel like the word timid has a negative connotation, but I don't mean it in a negative way. Just like a really sort of chill, almost like a timid, kind of like shy personality. Like Henry Cavill fucking went live and like posted himself like putting his computer together. Like super, his like gaming PC, like super nerdy, you know. I just want to like save kittens and I just want to like come to work and do a really good job at the Daily Planet. Earnest, just like, you know, but at the same time, you're fucking Superman, like you're fucking huge and brolic. And like the scene in Man of Steel, which I just watched over the weekend, fucking classic, when the dude is like messing with the woman in the bar and like heckling her, and Clark is like a cook or whatever, and he tries to like step in, and he has this like very just timid, you know, kind of laid back demeanor, and the guy, meanwhile, Henry Cavill's like a foot taller than this guy, and like obviously has like 80 pounds on this dude. And the dude is like, yeah, you want some? And he's trying to like push Henry Cavill and shit, and he's like throwing shit at him, throwing beer, pouring beer over his head, and you know, and then he tries to push Henry Cavill, and like Henry Cavill don't even move. Like, you really want this? You really gonna force me to beat your ass? I'm just trying to like rescue kittens and chill, and you really gonna force me to beat your ass? Like, I don't want to beat you up. Please, don't make me. I feel like that's Clark. Wait, at one point, who couldn't afford to pay their bills, Sim? Sorry, I missed that. Tom Holland Spider-Man is bland to me. Bland! It's bland. Peter Parker is not a Chad. He was never depicted that way in the comics. It's like Clark in Smallville. He was a loser. Tom is very charismatic and charming and cute. Not like Peter. Tom Holland plays him childlike, which is different from being a nerd. Toby was sad Spider-Man. Hi, Gone Swimming. Tom Holland Spider-Man reminds me of that smart kid in school that thinks that they're uncool, but everybody knows him and is cool with him. Exactly, Alexandra. And that is not Peter Parker. Peter Parker really is uncool. Like in the first Spider-Man when he's like running for the bus and everybody's laughing at him. That's Peter Parker. Like, and then in Andrew Garfield's version, they have this motherfucker on a skateboard and he like catches up to the bus and he's like riding on the back. No, that's not how it's supposed to go. The kids are supposed to laugh at him. No. Hi, Kakashi Cowboy. Toby played a dork well, but at least Tim is much... I keep saying Tim. At least Tom is much better than the Andrew one. It's not that bro humor. I like the nerd aspect of Spider-Man, so I appreciated the Tom version a bit better. I hated Emma Stone as Gwen. Ah, shit, here we go again, Uncle Ben. Hi, Brooke. Holland is definitely Tony Stark Jr. as Peter, and I hate that. Peter's jokes are a defense mechanism. He's actually scared shitless half the time. Right, like, he's not cool. I think Toby did a good Peter Parker and Andrew did a good Spider-Man, the hero. I know what you mean, Nicole. That's how I feel about Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I hate her as Wonder Woman, but I actually really like her Diana. But I fucking cannot stand her as Wonder Woman. Like, I just can't, I just don't believe it. Spider-Man is his own hero. He's not a sidekick to Iron Man. Parker, not Starker. Amen to that. He's not Iron Man Jr. Hi, Daniel. I was just about to say that I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man had too much of an Iron Man influence. And I'm not even a fan of Spider-Man, but even I know that's not Spidey, said Gary. I like Tom only in Civil War, but we only got snippets of him there. I hated Stark Jr. Thank you. Peter is not Tony. They tried to make Tony his Uncle Ben, and it doesn't have the same impact. Hi, Maya. Popping in to say the Marvel movies also borrow a lot of Miles Morales' story and personality from the comics and used it for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I'm glad you put it into words, because I also didn't like Tom and Andrew, but I could never explain why they were just not as appealing as Toby. Holland isn't a bad actor. The story was written poorly. Yeah, I have nothing against Tom Holland personally. He seems like a cool kid. Well, I think he's not even that young, right? He's just like playing young. He seems like an okay person. Speaking of director's cuts, Fam Samity Sam. I love Animaniacs. Yeah, watch it, Sam, if you never saw it. Someone pointed out what they don't like about Tom Holland's Peter Parker is the fact that his Spider-Man, I don't know what just happened, is the fact that his Spider-Man powers mostly come from the Spider-Man suit that he got from Tony Stark, and I completely agree. Toby is the only authentic Spider-Man I'll ever truly recognize. I'm a recluse, but not when it comes to my movies. Holland isn't a bad actor, but he's miscast as Peter. Speed made you afraid of elevators, Owen. Hi, Chassis. Oh my gosh, 30 minutes and ticking, Jaren. Oh, are you still in there? That was like 20 minutes ago. I don't like how the MCU is trying to make Spider-Man the new Iron Man. I would prefer Ironheart. What's up with the little girl Iron Man, Riri? They should make a movie about her. Hi, Kaylin. Oh, the fire department's there now, Jaren. That's one of my major fears, being stuck and it won't stop moving. There's London Calling. Yes, his name was Mr. Feeney. Real Trini. Tokyo Drift. Feeney. In my Eric voice, he'd hate me. I'd have been just like Eric. That's the only person with the last name Feeney I've ever met in my life, too, Brooke. I have no idea. We just all love that movie and seeing Lil Bow Wow. An old friend of mine rented a theater to propose. Oh, that's so nice. Now that would be a good way to propose to me. I'd probably get in my feelings because I love movies, especially if it was like a movie that I loved and then they like proposed. Oh, that just like made my little Grinch heart grow. 3 sizes, Owen. The new Peter Parker face model is disappointing. Like, did he have to look like Tom Holland? They probably thought it would be like a cute little Easter egg, but it seems like most of y'all hate it. Yeah, they did it for Black Panther. Lots of screenings, rented out movie theaters. Not Weinart, which I thought at first too. His last name is Wienert, as in Wiener with a T at the end. Needless to say, he never went by his last name. People hated when Garfield was like, oh no, knives. But I was like, Spider-Man would do that. Feeney, great last name. Yeah, I remember. No, we can't dispute it with the bank because technically the concert isn't canceled. That's how Ticketmaster's keeping everybody's money. Because, like, technically the concert is not canceled. It's just indefinitely postponed. Like, so they can keep our money. They can keep our money until it's officially canceled, but it's not. I didn't get 2 of my Contics refunded. They just granted me a pass for 2021, but I'm definitely not going to a con until, like, 2030. Those resellers suck. The people who need the sale are poor, and it's fine to harm the poor. Hoarding. Yeah, hoarding during a public health emergency. Right, Jules? That's why all those people that were hoarding hand sanitizers and stuff got arrested. But it's not illegal to, like, hoard PS5s. But it should be. I feel like saying it sounds ridiculous, but I really feel like this like bot situation is only going to get worse. Like it started with sneakers and then like it got into bags and then it got into like other kinds of shoes, other kinds of clothes. Now we're seeing it starting to like trickle into the electronics market. Like it's only going to get worse. They need to put some type of law on the books saying that you can't do that. But right now there's not. Hi, Michelle's daughter. Yeah, the Millennium Tour, Nicole, it was going to be Omarion, Bow Wow. Well, it was going to be Face Off, which is what I really wanted to see. It was going to be Omarion, Bow Wow, Soulja Boy, Sammy, Pretty Ricky, and Ashanti. And I think the Yin Yang Twins might have been there too. I was hyped. I was so hyped. I was so excited for this concert. I mean, if it's really only indefinitely postponed, I will still go see it. You know, if they come back in like 2025 and say like we're having the concert, I mean, I'll still go, but like give us our money back. It sucks. The pandemic has made this price gouging shit pop. People are just evil. It's definitely pop more. I agree. Reselling is a big problem in the sneaker market. Hi, Nina. It's a huge problem. Hi, Mo. Steven Universe. Oh, you're talking about Steven Universe is a good one. That's for kids. If I did want a PS5, I'll just wait until next year. It's not even worth it trying to get it at launch. It's getting so bad. You have to have at least 40% more than what the price says. And that's like 40% that like this independent reseller is going to pocket. How is that not illegal? How is that not illegal? Like I said, it's not even like it's going to the company. Not that the companies need it. How is that not illegal? I have a general rule to never buy a console during their launch window. Price gouging should be illegal for sure. Capitalism produces all kinds of evil outcomes without humane regulation, which is funny because people feel like capitalism needs less regulations because they have this idea that like we need the free market and the market will right itself and the market will correct itself, even though we've been repeatedly seeing that this does not happen. People still believe this. It's so weird. Big Mouth, not a kid show. Literally, I was so pissed. I messaged Ticketmaster. They said that they gave a 30-day window back in June. That is bullshit. That's bullshit. No, they didn't. To request a refund for the ticket so they can no longer assist. Regular show was for kids. Hi, Jenny Bean. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Sagittarius season. Yo, Sausage Party definitely wasn't for kids, World Lover. It typically takes me between 3 and 4 years to buy a new console after launch. BoJack Horseman, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, American Dad, Archer, Rick and Morty. All these cartoons are not for kids. Spider-Man 2 is very good. X-Men 1 might be the best in my opinion. In your opinion, London Calling. I personally prefer X2 to X1. Sausage Party shocked me. Didn't know what it was. A lot of people apparently thought that shit was for kids, even though it was rated R. That shit had a whole orgy at the end. Spider-Man 2 is definitely top 5 comic book movies of all time. I feel like a lot of the kids' animated shows are foreign now. When I've watched my God Kids, there's a lot of Korean and Russian dub cartoons. I feel like a lot of kids' humor skews too adult these days. Alfred Molina as Doc Ock was genius casting. Spider-Man 2 had the perfect balance of failed romance, a compelling villain, and great action and fight choreography. A lot of things nowadays seem so manufactured and uninspired. Big Mouth is so weird because it's like children but marketed towards adults. Give her a quiz if they watch Spider-Man 1 and 2 next week. That song was a shit. Nickelback served. Iconic. Hero Can Save Us. Amani. Hi, Amani. Adult animated shows that I love. South Park, Archer, American Dad, BoJack Horseman, Futurama. Can children even keep their innocence in this world? I know all these songs by heart, Chris. I didn't know back in June that COVID would last this long and the concert would be indefinitely postponed. Right, like it's still bullshit. They should just give us our money back and stop playing. Big Mouth is definitely not a kid show. I get what they're trying to do, but it's not for adolescents. Oh, they played the Hero song, the Spider-Man song. They played that at Walmart a while back, and I was like, damn, so many memories. The Dark Knight is my favorite comic book movie. Low-key might be my favorite movie, period. My top 5 of comic book movies, Dark Knight, obviously. Spider-Man 2. X2. This is not in order. Dark Knight, Spider-Man 2, X2, Iron Man, Man of Steel. Honorable mention, Thor. And Spider-Man 1 and X-Men 1. But that's hard. And Blade. But that's hard because, like, when the first X-Men movie came out, was like, it's like one of those time periods in my mind that I can, like, remember with, like, so much clarity. Because I just remember being, like, so hyped. They were, like, finally making an X-Men movie. And I knew the storyline that they were going to be doing because, like, I had books and graphic novels and comics with that storyline. And I can just, like, remember the feeling. Like, I literally, and this was a long time ago, and I was, like, a little kid, but I can, like, remember the feeling of, like, seeing the X-Men poster at the movie theater with, like, the date on it and being like, my movie is coming! Like, it's just like a real special little place in my heart for that first X-Men movie. And then they just ruined it. God, I take it so personal, like what they did. Tom Welling is Clark Kent. I like Tom Welling as Clark Kent too. I would love for them to do a crossover thing with like Tom Welling and Henry Cavill. Like how they did Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin together. Henry is a geek too, proudly. He did. Yeah, he like put it together. I watched it too. I love Henry Cavill. He's just so adorable. Henry Cavill and Tom Welling for me. Hi, Star Dagger. Henry Cavill is a lovable dweeb. He's perfectly cast. They both did a really good job at being timid and having those farm boy values despite being huge. I tripped out watching women do reactions to Henry putting together his computer. Like, damn, ladies, stop lusting so hard. And Henry Cavill just seems like he's not even... Like, he doesn't even want to be looked at that way either. Like, I'm just trying to put my little computer together in peace. You know? I love that scene. Tried to push him and he hit a brick wall. There's also rumors that Henry Cavill was abused in Hollywood as a child actor when he was like 14 or 15. And he did The Count of Monte Cristo. He played the son. There's like rumors that like some of them old creepy women was like hitting on him and stuff. So he just seems very much just like, please back up. Oh my God, you gotta watch Man of Steel too. The feeling that I got from watching Dark Knight for the first time in theaters is something that I don't think will ever be replicated in my life. What he ended up doing to the truck was scary. He was really good in the bar scene. I love that scene. Tried to push him and he hit a brick wall. Let's see. The height of Spider-Man 2 for me was the character development. He started out as Spider-Man out of guilt, but by the end he does it because he learned saving people is just who he is. I tried to put Man of Steel on with my mom for the first time. She started crying with the school closet scene. She wasn't ready. Yeah, the kid did a really good job too. Whoever that child actor was playing him. Like when he saves the school bus full of kids and his dad is like, you can't do things like this. Like, damn, I know those kids. I go to school with those kids. I know I can save them. You want me to just let a school bus full of kids die? Damn, Pa Kent. Like, you're hardcore. Hi, Olivia. OMG, AI Twitter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm tired of those people. Watched Jangle recently. Oh, Jingle Jangle. We're going to watch that. We're definitely going to watch that for the holiday. The holiday Bees Bake. It's safe to claim DC is the capital of Black America. Ooh, well, that makes me happy. Yeah, Peter was bullied. Don't get me started on my fave superhero movie ever. Henry Cavill really embodied Clark and Superman. He did, Gary. He really did. I can't wait for the day 10 years from now when that movie finally gets its just due. It's starting. People are starting to, like, talk about that movie the way that it deserves. It's starting now. I find that bus scene in Spider-Man 1 hilarious. Even the bus driver's laughing at him. Tom Welling was legit a loser. Like, people knew it. He got bullied. Clark was a loner. He only had, like, 2 friends. The problem of Tom Holland's cool factor stems partially from ripping his origin story from Miles. How is he going to be the nerd when he goes to a science-focused high school, which is Miles's thing? Right, exactly. They, like, took too much of the Miles Morales storyline just to then turn around and, like, make Into the Spider-Verse. It makes no sense. And now they're going to have to, like... So that's also why I felt like they went a little bit harder in the direction of, like, Tony Stark Jr. Because Into the Spider-Verse did so well that they're definitely going to, like, move forward with, like, Miles Morales. And he's going to need his own story. So Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to need a different story now. Tom Holland is 24. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, he's not really a kid. Yeah, I want that so bad. Riri, Iron Man. That is Ironheart. Okay, sorry, I forgot the name. I knew you like loved that, Nicole. I remember when it came out. Hi, Blackwoods. Hi, Deb the Wise. Yay, Jared the elevator. They tried to make Spider-Man into Riri instead of just having Riri. We need more black girls and women in the MCU, not having one black girl play and occupy multiple roles. No, I didn't hear about it. Yara Shahidi is going to be Tinkerbell chassis? I'm biased and I can admit it. It's hard for me to put anybody above Tobey Maguire. Why? I'm not turning the phone. He keeps giving me a thing like I'm turning the phone. It's hard for me to put anybody above Tobey Maguire because I saw Spider-Man as a kid when it came out in 2002, and I have so many memories of that movie. I hope they do a live action Miles Morales one day. Who would you guys want as Miles for a live action? Yara is said to be Tinkerbell. Another live action Peter Pan? Haven't we had like 5 of them? Because they just had one. And then they just had another one that had Rooney Mara as Tiger Lily. Like, that's a lot. Hi, Basima. If we can get a Miss Marvel show that no one asked for, we can definitely get an Ironheart show or movie. Cast Sky Jackson, since she's who the since that's who the character is inspired by. Oh, I didn't know that. Sky Jackson? I didn't know that. Ticketmaster is trash, Nicole. Who could play Miles Morales in a live action film? Laura Harrier is gorgeous. She has a beautiful face. Why, oh why did they change the damn face model? The whole reason we love this Insomniac Spider-Man universe is how standalone it is. Nobody wanted a damn tie-in in any capacity. Not Yara, she can't act. Yeah, the hand sanitizer was the exception because it was public health, Nicole, exactly. Brianna, I didn't hear about the hoarders getting arrested. Yeah, they did. How is Yara getting booked like this when it's a popular opinion she can't act? What else is she going to be in? Has she been booked for anything else besides Grownish? I do know that, Yara was becoming like a little it girl. So, it girls don't have to act. You guys could take that as shade towards whoever you think it's towards. Yes, the shade to Lil Fizz tour, Nicole. I was ready. I'll still go, but if they're not going to have it, I want my money back. I almost bought tickets. I wanted to see Omarion so bad. I still want to see this tour. Like, I feel like it was going to be a great show, and I still want to see it. The new Omarion album was good. Right, and, like, Omarion was, like, going to perform new songs. Like, I still want to see it. I do know someone that went to the first Millennium Tour. Ebony went. Ebony from the Black Americans, New Jersey. She went, and she said it was amazing. And it was, like, the last one before COVID. The show that she saw. People hoarded toilet paper, but not hand soap. Ha! I love seeing scalpers get jacked. We need to start encouraging piracy again. They could cast Jarrell Jerome. He's only 23. He's only 23? Wow. Tom Holland really looks young. I would never think that Tom Holland and Jarrell Jerome were the same age. Same X2 was great. I heard that Oprah's own channel is picking up Underground. I hope we get new episodes. Are they? People have been saying that since Underground got canceled, that they should pick it up. Never met a charge I couldn't dispute. Sad gang. I thought X2 was excellent, even though once again Logan got a lot of focus, and I never liked that. But they balanced it well because we also got Jean and her Phoenix power slowly emerging. I really love the way they introduced the Dark Phoenix and like built up to the Phoenix. I just don't know what happened with that third movie. To this day, feel like I don't understand what happened between X2 and X3. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Also, the Nightcrawler action scene was one of the best ever. I loved Nightcrawler. I loved Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler. I loved everything about Nightcrawler. I loved Nightcrawler and Mystique's relationship. I really loved X2. I was honestly dumbfounded. I loved the wigs. Sorry, I have to go back. I loved the wigs the girls had on. They had the little shortcut wigs in X2. The wig budget, they stepped the wig budget up. Because the wigs in the first X-Men movie, Storm's wig was, you know, but they got the wig budget together. X2, that's the one. I was honestly dumbfounded when Sausage Party and Deadpool had a whole R rating and parents still took their kids to see it and had the nerve to be shocked at how graphic, explicit, and sexual it was. Yes, they just thought like, oh, cartoons and comic books are for kids. No, stop that. Hi, Coco Bananas. Yeah, Big Mouth looks so ugly to me. Seems like a weird show. I was a whole kid watching Futurama, Ashley. Someone needs to remind those free marketeers in capitalism that markets haven't been free for a long time, if ever. We have minimum wages, prohibitions on child labor, licensing requirements for professions, etc. I saw The Dark Knight 3 times in theaters. Yeah. Facts. X2 was awesome. I love everything from the narrative structure to the mechanics and progression of Stryker's plan, as well as Magneto's involvement and how he countered it. Blade is top 2. X2 is my shiz. X2 is great for so many reasons. However, the opening scene of X-Men at Auschwitz is one of the most powerful scenes in any superhero film, in my opinion. That is a fair point and a fair opinion, London Calling. That is a great scene, and it is a hardcore as fuck opening. When they're, like, separating them, and Magneto's, like, calling his mom, and she's, like, screaming, and he starts, like, fucking up that fence. Man! I saw that movie, like, 10 times in the movie theater. Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler was perfection. The Dark Knight, whoa, when was the last time we had a movie like that? Hi, Jake Hallie, new subscriber, first time here. Hi, welcome. That X-Men movie was a little over 20 years ago. That X-Men movie? No, it wasn't that long, was it? Was it? But my mind thinks it was 5 to 10 years ago. Magneto is just one of Marvel's best written, most complex villains. Him and Killmonger were both villainous and sympathetic simultaneously. I love the way that Mystique breaks him out of his fucking plastic cage. Man, why did they have to ruin my movies? And then they did that horrible reboot with Jennifer Lawrence. Why? Horrible. Blade was definitely that movie for me when I was a kid. Blade and then Blade 2 by Guillermo del Toro with the Reapers and their fucking faces open up like this and they fucking bite you. Oh, man. And the first Blade with Karen and Boucher Wright. What? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard for me to pick a favorite. Like, I feel like my favorite constantly changes. Like, some days my favorite is Blade. And some days my favorite is Blade 2. And some days my favorite is definitely The Dark Knight. And some days my favorite is Man of Steel. And some days my favorite is X-Men. It's like constantly changing. Journalists hate that scene of Man of Steel when he helps that waitress. Why? That's a great scene. That's a great fucking scene. I also loved in X-Men that they like showed Rogue getting her powers. She's like in bed with the boy, like talking about her road trip, and they kiss, and it's her first kiss because, you know, your powers are like tied to like, I don't want to say like just like your emotions, but like your emotions and like puberty and like the events that happen to you. And I kind of wish they had showed like all of them, because like when Scott is like at the prom or whatever at the dance and he's like, my eyes, like, and then it's fucking his like laser shit. And like, I wish, but I did love that they showed in the first X-Men when he's like at the train station and they're trying to get Rogue, and Toad fucking like knocks his thing off and he like looks at the ceiling and he like blasts a fucking hole in the ceiling, and they really show like they're fucking powerful. Like, stop trying to downplay how powerful the X-Men really are. Like, the X-Men could really fuck us all up for real. Like, that's something that I like about Umbrella Academy. Like, they really show that these powers can like fuck people up. Scott Summers is utterly disrespected in those movies. I think I cried too at that scene in Man of Steel. Like, why would he not go and save the kids? That was cold. I know he didn't. I know he didn't want the kids to die, but I was like, damn, Pocket. Hi, Marcy. We've been on for a while. I agree. I felt like an outlier because I love Man of Steel. It gets so much hate. People just hated on that movie because it was like fun and the cool thing to do, to like hate on those DC films. Man of Steel is a great fucking film. I've literally seen that film like, I'm not going to say I've literally seen it a million times, but I can say I've literally seen that film probably between 300 and 500 times. Seriously. I've watched it a lot of times. It's a great fucking movie. And people just did not... I feel like people just didn't get it when Man of Steel came out. It just was not what people thought it was going to be. You know? They wanted Christopher Reeves. And that's not what they got. That doesn't mean it was bad. But people acted like that meant it was bad. And then they just like shitted all over it and said that it was the worst thing they ever saw, and the movie killed their firstborn child. When it's a great fucking movie. General Zod, it's fucking great. Everything is great. Like the beginning, when fucking like the destruction of Krypton, and like the shit that we get to see of Krypton. Like, that's my movie. Man of Steel was on some deep shit versus the bullshit MCU orange slice jokes. And, like, that jokey joke style, that was the rage when Man of Steel came out. That's what people wanted. Pa Kent knew folks would come after him if they knew what he was, but Clark's dad was always proud of the man Superman became. The MCU was claiming to want to do more diversity, but then they used Peter 3.0 and ripped off Miles, Peter's successor. It was so blatant. Hi, Chariot Man Gaming. The thing is, Prowler mentioned his nephew in Homecoming, so I wonder how they would introduce Miles in the MCU canon. Hi, Teddy. I've heard other people talking about that because they gave Miles' best friend, the Asian dude, to Tom Holland. And, like, him going to the Science Academy, like, how are you going to introduce Miles? Like, how? Miles Brown. Oh, that's the twin, right? The twin from Blackish. The boy is Miles Morales. He might be a good Miles Morales. That's actually a really good suggestion. The last live-action Peter Pan I remember was the one with the Coldplay soundtrack. It's a free domain. That's why there will be a lot of adaptations. Oh, Peter Pan. You're talking about Peter Pan, Real Trini? The guy from The Runaways looks like Miles to me. I wanted Jaden Smith when I was younger, but now I think I'd prefer a relatively unrecognized new actor to play him now. They might as well cast Najee Jeter from The Game, but I think the guy from IT would have been good as Miles. The kid from Stranger Things would be cool and age appropriate. Beautiful gowns, great gowns. Yara is Tinkerbell. I posted the live action. Oh, okay. I just didn't see it. I posted the live action Peter Pan Yara news in Discord a while ago. I questioned how Yara, a grown woman, could play Tinkerbell when Tink has a canon. I never know how to pronounce this. Canonical? Canonical? I don't know how you pronounce this word. A canon crush on Peter, an eternal child. Well, I guess it depends on what direction they decide to go in, because they had Julia Roberts play Tinkerbell in Hook, but Peter Pan was grown. He was Robin Williams, obviously. Like, he left Neverland and grew up and came back, and so it was a little less weird. So maybe they're going to go in that direction, but I don't know. Maybe they feel Yara looks young enough. I don't know. We'll have to see. The actor to play Miles doesn't exist yet. They would definitely choose a younger actor for Miles because Tom Holland has a baby face. He could pass as a young person for at least 5 more years. I don't think Yara could bring the attitude that Tinkerbell has. On the one hand, I don't think Yara is the best at acting, but on the other hand, all these mediocre white girls have careers, so I'm not too pressed about it yet. That's why I said, like, she's an it girl, and, like, it girls don't really have to act. And I feel like nobody expects any of these Peter Pan live-action movies to be good. They've literally all been bad. They've done so many of them, and none of them have done well. And they just, like, keep doing them. I didn't know that was public domain. X3, they lost their damn minds. New director. Peter has to be played by a young teenager, not an older teenager, and definitely not an adult. This is not a Robin Williams Hook situation. They changed directors between X2 and X3. I hate when Gen Z takes criticism on the MCU as boomer talk. It's illegal to say Spider-Man Homecoming felt like build-up and was bad. My older sister was a huge B2K Bow Wow fan back in the day. She had posters on posters of them in her wall, even used to be in a B2K chat room. X3 was some ass, and then they tried to undo it with Days of Future Past, but that shit was ass too, right? They just didn't make it better. Another one for the kid from Blackish, Miles Brown as Miles Morales. The writers fell asleep in X-Men Last Stand. Woo, Marcy! It's Sag. Phoenix is one of the seminal comic stories, and it's never been translated right to screen. And they just did a whole Dark Phoenix movie, and that shit was some trash. Like, stop. The wigs upgraded Deb in X2. They made it seem, hi Bar Renaissance. They made it seem like Jean had a personality disorder instead of it being an actual alien force that bonds with her like in the comics. They even ignored that X2 showed her fiery powers, and then in X3 she was a zombie. Yeah, they had her looking all weird. I was just like, I can't take this. And I didn't like that. Now, I didn't see the Dark Phoenix movie they just did, so I don't know if they showed it. But I also didn't like that in that third X-Men movie, they never showed her friend getting hit by the car. Like, how are we gonna do a movie about Jean, but like not actually show the shit that happened to Jean? Like, I just didn't like it. Underground has been getting a push for it to come back, but after the success of Lovecraft Country, I think Underground will definitely come back with Misha Green working on it. Hi Paris October. I don't even understand why they got rid of Nightcrawler and replaced him with a bunch of awful characters in X3 too. Loved everything about Nightcrawler except him not being in X3. Y'all about to have me go watch the X-Men movies. I haven't seen them in years. I would be so disappointed if I entrusted a project to someone and they dropped the ball like that. That X-Men 1 opening hit me right in the feels. I love my mom and immediately imagined if it was me. Oh my God, X-Men really came out in 2000. It's really been 20 years. Like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. It's been 20 years. Man. That movie really occupies a special heart in a place in my heart in my childhood. Man, we are old. Yes, Seren, X-Men came out in 2020. It's about to be 2021. That was cool with the small magnets. Too much iron in your blood. Great scene. Chassis, wow, 20 years? How did time fly like that? Right. I feel offended by time right now. Like, damn, I feel like I was just a little kid. Used to watch X2 just to hear Wolverine tell Nightcrawler to pipe down. I'm a child. My favorite scene in the first X-Men used to be when Scott asked Logan, how do I know it's you? And Wolverine says, you're a dick. And then Logan said, okay. Shit's hilarious. Or when he like gives him the finger with the blade. The first X-Men was just, it just had that something. I do think the second one was a better movie overall. But the first X-Men movie just got that something. Like, I can't front. Like, it got that something. Yeah, Mystique injected him right in his ass with that liquid iron. Then Singer did Days of Future Past, which retconned X3, so Brett Ratner never happened, and they ruined it again with Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. Fox couldn't get shit together. I haven't seen Blade. Should I watch it before Mahershala's version comes out? Fucking yeah! You have to watch the original with fucking... Are you serious? Is that a serious question? You have to watch the original with fucking Wesley Snipes before you watch the one with Mahershala Ali. Like, you just have to. You just have to. You have to watch the first one and the second one, though. You have to watch both. Because the first one is a classic. And the second one is a classic, too. Del Toro did an amazing job. They have a fucking amazing scene when him and fucking Hellboy are fighting and he does that wrestling move and body slams his ass. The people in my movie theater fucking cheered. My mother stood up in the movie theater and cheered when he fucking dropped Hellboy. Dropped his ass. You have to watch it. Queen, definitely watch the original Blade first. Definitely. Jaden Piner might be a good Miles Morales. So basically all of our top favorite comic book movies came out the early to late 2000s. I don't know if that's good or bad. That was one of the few comic accurate moments that they showed in the movie. In the comics, Rogue also kissed her boyfriend. And that's how she first discovered her power. Oh man, and I love the scene too where fucking Wolverine has the nightmare and she goes in to wake him up and he fucking stabs her. And Anna Paquin is still fairly young. So he stabs this kid and everybody comes in and they see, and then she just lightly touches his face and he's like, damn, Rogue is that girl. And then they just, I don't know what happened. Y'all can't see my hand, but my hand is just... And then they just said, never mind. They just said, never mind. I wanted to be a mutant so bad. I remember seeing a meme talking about Rebecca didn't slide back on her bare coochie as Mystique to be disrespected like this. Talking about Jennifer Lawrence. Now that's all I see whenever I see Jennifer Lawrence in blue. Did I say 300 with an H? I probably did. Michael Shannon is great. If y'all could be a mutant, which one would you be? I would want to be Peter Petrelli from Heroes. Does that count? Was I in love with Man of Steel? No, but I don't think it deserved all the hate it got. The older I get, the more my tolerance for Marvel humor shrinks. Man of Steel is proof that a true Dragon Ball Z movie could never happen because it would cost twice that to make, and the tech to make it look good simply doesn't exist. I very much enjoy Val Kilmer as Batman. Who's your favorite Batman? I was looking at this movie that just came out, or it's coming out. It's called something. I can't think of the name right now. It's like some cop movie, and it has Tommy Lee Jones and Aaron Eckhart. And when I was looking at the poster for it, I was like, oh, so it has Two-Face and Two-Face. I was like, all they need is motherfucking Billy D. And it could be Two-Face, Two-Face, and Two-Face all together. I never saw Man of Steel, but since you vouch hard for it, it's on my watch list. You have to watch it. Zack Snyder deserves a lot more praise for Man of Steel and the DCEU. Totally agree. Val Kilmer was a great Batman. You are never gonna let this go, Nicole. You hated Lois Lane as a redhead. You always mention this. Nicole gonna be on her deathbed like, and Lois Lane, Amy Adams shouldn't have been a redhead. Which is hilarious to me. It's very funny. Canonical. Okay. Canonical. Okay. Canonical. Okay. 2003 Peter Pan had a grown woman play Tinkerbell. Hi, Janae. The actress who plays Yara's sister in Blackish has a more Tinkerbell personality. The other little twin. Hi, Shem Jim. Yara's younger brother definitely could be Miles. Marseille, that's her name. Marseille. Marseille Martin is a good actress, in my opinion. Let her be Tinkerbell. Peter Pan is a money pit. Are you a fan of how soft they made the Hulk in the Avengers movies? No, I am not. Mark Ruffalo is cool, but the only Hulk, Bruce Banner, that we acknowledge over here is motherfucking Ed Norton. Eric Bana was okay. Mark Ruffalo is alright. But no, Ed Norton should be Bruce Banner. I think Yara has gotten the right role to show off her acting yet. Now Hook, that was a good update on a classic. I don't think they should remake. I see you guys talking about A Different World. I don't think they should remake A Different World. Nothing is wrong with it. It still has plenty of rewatch value. I agree, Shim Jim. Y'all know how I feel about the remakes. Especially shit that's a classic that still has rewatch value. What's the point of a remake of something that is a classic that has timeless values and themes? What's the point of that? I'm tired of Zendaya too. They need to start casting new people in Hollywood. They always rush the Dark Phoenix saga. You can't rush that shit. That's why it works. Yara's the it girl right now. Oh. Hi, Nova. Ann Richards. Right, Seren. Ann Richards, her friend getting hit, is a part of it too. X-Men Dark Phoenix was a terrible movie. The Phoenix translations always feel like they're drawing on some weird tropes about women and chaos. I agree. It always feels like they're trying to turn Jean into the stereotypical Hollywood idea of a witch. Like as if they have Scarlet Witch and like Jean Grey confused. I did not see Dark Phoenix, so I don't know. The whole Phoenix arc and Dark Phoenix arc are too lengthy to cram into 2-hour movies. X-Men First Class is terrible. Cora G, dang. Time! A proper Dark Phoenix saga either needs its own film series or a mini-series in order to capture the full weight of it. I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but Wolverine is supposed to be short. Hugh Jackman is short. I don't think he's that tall. But I do think that somebody like Tom Cruise could have also played Wolverine. Because I really enjoy Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. And Jack Reacher is like a Logan-esque character. But I like Hugh Jackman as Logan. I do. Magneto really blasted that guard with "Never trust a beautiful woman, especially one that's interested in you." I was thinking about that line, Ori, when I said like that she like pumped him right in the ass with that shit. I remember my mom and dad took me, R.I.P. Sim, took me to see the first X-Men in the movies with my friend as a kid, and we were so hyped. Yes, like there was just something about that movie, like it just really has a special place in my heart. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Like, y'all have to see the original Blade if you haven't seen it. Yes, Hellboy is in the second Blade film. He's part of the Wolf Pack. What's his name? Ron Perlman. He's part of the Wolf Pack. And what's his name? What's this Asian dude? What is his name? He's in it too. He's really good. The cast is really good in the second Blade. It's really good. No, not Hellboy. No, I'm sorry. No. I'm saying Hellboy, but Ron Perlman was not in the film as Hellboy. Sorry. No. Hellboy, you know, like Red and the Horns, is not in the second Blade movie. Ron Perlman, who plays Hellboy, is in the second movie because him and Del Toro have like a really good relationship because Del Toro did Hellboy. Sorry. If Hellboy counts, if you guys are counting Hellboy as a comic book movie, I'll have to put Hellboy 2, The Golden Army on my list too because that's my fucking movie as well. Can you blush? Jaden Smith would be a good static shot. That was a great scene with Logan and Rogue. Never seen Blade. I've been meaning to watch both. Along with the Beast Bakes, I'll do that when my new laptop arrives. Blade 2 is a bona fide classic. Very pragmatic and excellent judgment call that saved her life. Literally saved herself. And then at the end, after Magneto has her strapped into the machine and basically kills her, and he like touches her head, and then he like hugs her, because the whole movie she's been talking about how like she's not going to be able to experience hugging people, touching people. Like when she's on the train and she sees a little kid sitting with the mom, and the mom is like touching the kid's face, and Logan actually like hugs her, and then his like face opens up. Oh God, the first X-Men. I'm about to watch it. Ori, 30 can't be a real thing. 30 is a myth. That movie, Nova, that movie had me shipping Rogue and Logan. We are mutants. That's the allegory. I'd be all of them. The opening scene of Blade with the vampires dancing in blood was phenomenal. You'd want Rogue's powers. Hi, Vay. Michael Keaton and Christian Bale are your favorite Batman, Kimberly Fraser? I would say that Christian Bale, Michael Keaton, and George Clooney are mine. I know everyone hates George Clooney, but I really love George Clooney as Batman. And I really love Batman and Robin. I feel like Batman and Robin is an underrated, underappreciated B movie. It is not a hyper serious movie. It's funny and cheesy, and I love Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, and I love Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I love Chris O'Donnell as Robin, even though I would not mind if they made a Nightwing movie with Dave Franco as Dick. I think he'd be excellent. He was excellent in Now You See Me, and every time I watch that movie, I think he should be Dick Grayson. You guys really like Michael Keaton as Batman. Wow, a lot of y'all said Michael Keaton. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing beats the original Batman. Me and my sister used to watch the one with Michael Keaton all the time. Of all the X-Men, I'd probably take Nightcrawler's powers without the blue face. I mean, Tim Burton's Batman movies with Michael Keaton are classics. But I don't know. I love Christian Bale because Christian Bale is a fucking psycho. And Batman is a fucking psycho. Like, Batman is not normal. Christian Bale is the only one that seems to understand this. But I love George Clooney's depiction of, like, Batman as a playboy. And I like Michael Keaton, too, because he's classic. Christian Bale is my favorite, with Keaton being a close second. I know. Well, you know, Billy D was Two-Face in the Batman Lego movie, Teddy. So technically we did get Billy D as Two-Face. Never live action, though. But it's funny because Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie is black because it's Billy D. How do y'all think Robert Pattinson will do with Batman? I think he will be amazing, incredible, iconic, totally unique. Never before seen. I'm hyped for this Matt Reeves Batman movie. I'm patiently waiting for it to come out. Can't wait. Hype. Read that book you recommended. Break It Up. Good book. Yay! It is a good book. Hush 420. Ben Affleck is Batman and Christian Bale is Bruce. Now I hate Ben Affleck as Batman. But I know some, like, I get the vision. And I get why some people like it, but it's not for me. Christian Bale is my favorite Batman, though I haven't seen the Michael Keaton film. Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is the Keaton Batman. Yes, Valerie, that's it. And Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. Yours is Christian Bale, Ori. Ed Norton. Ed Norton was the best Hulk. Ed Norton was the best. No, Hook is a great movie. Hook is a great movie, but the other Peter, I said the recent ones that came out have been really bad. I want Liv Tyler back as Red She-Hulk. Eric Bana was definitely up there with Norton. Hi, Bree. Ed Norton is underrated. Ed Norton as the Hulk is so underrated. That's the only Hulk that I really like. And I love the Hulk. I love Bruce Banner. Ed Norton, I like the best. The Incredible Hulk is criminally underrated. Ed Norton was it. I feel like, this is like weird to say, but I do feel like a lot of the really good comic book movies that were coming out in the early 2000s, they're underrated because the ones that came later are the ones that ended up getting all the attention and the acclaim and the blockbusters and making all the money. So people just think of the more recent ones. But a lot of those early ones were really interesting and really smart, and I wish that they got more recognition, you know? Hi, Warren. We're talking comics because I opened this one up singing the Spectacular Spider-Man theme music. I started to name this one, instead of Thursdaybake, I started to call it Spectacular Spider-Man, but I don't know if I can call it that because for copyright issues. Please don't touch a different world. That's my childhood. Ori, yours is Mark Ruffalo. I know a lot of people like Ruffalo. I like Ruffalo. He's cool. We stand Ed Norton as Bruce the Hulk in this house. That's final. Yeah, don't remake, remaster, and move on. They're going to New Black, a different world, and probably All Lives Matter, the message. They're definitely going to have like a token Asian or something in there. The first gen Marvel movies were the best, but then Disney got in there, and all they care about is money and crude, trashy, cheap humor. Totally agree, Shim Jim. Yeah, the witch archetype with Jean, that's on point. I'm writing a movie, Vay, not a series, but I am working on a screenplay. I hated X-Men First Class, but other people loved it for some reason. I don't know why either. Those movies were getting really good reviews, but they were so bad. I just don't understand it. The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America 1, all those first movies I liked. Oh, wow, Hugh Jackman is 6'4"? I learned something new today. But Hugh played the fuck out of that role, had the personality and aggression down cold. Ed Norton was a great Bruce Banner, and Liv Tyler was a great Betty. Oh, 6'2"? Not 6'4"? I did not know. I did not know Hugh Jackman was that tall. I'd like to see John Bernthal as Wolverine. You want the Punisher? You want the Punisher as Wolverine? Oh, look, Owen just said he's the Punisher. Yeah, they're definitely going to Dear White People, A Different World. Have to see the OG Blade. Just watched it last weekend. Had Blade on VCR, VHS, Brie. I'm just not here for the remakes. They don't need to touch A Different World, especially with the monstrosity that is grownish. No thanks. Do new stuff. Hugh Jackman is pretty tall. I remember that was a big thing when he was cast back in 1999. I remember people saying Magneto was too old also. Well, people could motherfucking suck a dick because I like those casts. Donnie Yen! Thank you, Warren. Donnie Yen is also in Blade 2 as part of the Wolf Pack. Blade 2, watch it. Donnie, and he's amazing. Everyone was waiting for that X-Men movie. Thank you, Nova. You missed the beginning when I was talking about just how it felt when I was waiting for that first X-Men movie to come out, how hype I was. And Norton embodies the tragedy of Bruce Banner not being able to live a normal life and the rage he had in that final battle against Abomination. Mwah, chef's kiss. I really feel like Ed Norton embodies the rage. I loved Bruce Banner when I was young because, Bruce was angry, I was angry. In college, I had a friend that literally used to be like, relax, young Banner, because I used to just, wild out, and I really felt like Ed got that repressed rage. I agree. I agree. Donnie Yen. Yeah, Donnie Yen is in Blade 2. With Ron Perlman. I love Blade 2. That movie put Del Toro on my map. Hellboy is definitely a comic book property. Yes, I'm also going to have to add Hellboy 2 Golden Army to my list of favorite comic book movies. Blade 2 is incredible. Yes, Ron Perlman is Hellboy. Wolverine hugging Rogue, thinking she was dead, was so emotional for me. It was a great scene, Nicole, and they played it just right. They played it just right. They really dropped the ball with X3, even though that scene was in the first X-Men, but Blade 2 is beautiful. Just like in the second X-Men where they had the scene where Mystique and Nightcrawler are sitting there talking, and Nightcrawler is saying to Mystique, if you can look like everybody else, why do you choose to look like this? Even their voice? And she says, even their voice. And then he says, well, why wouldn't you choose to look like everybody else? And she says, because we shouldn't have to. I was like, somebody understands the motherfucking point of X-Men. I don't know who it is, but somebody gets it. And then that person got fired when X3 came around. The ending fight scene of Blade 2 is a classic. I shipped Rogan indefinitely. I I know that people shipped Rogue and Logan. I don't think we were supposed to ship them. I think it was supposed to be like a fatherly relationship, but I know people did ship them. Batman and yes, camp. And you know I love camp, Nova. Y'all know I love camp. Like Batman and Robin is pure camp. Like it's just campy and delicious. I just feel like I could just sink my teeth into those set pieces. They literally had like rubber nipples. Like people took the movie way too serious. I love Batman and Robin too. Visually the film is great. And Uma killed it as Poison Ivy. Batman and Robin is my childhood. It's camp. I get it now. I grew to love Uma as Ivy. Terminator as Mr. Freeze is a classic. It's campy fun. The first X-Men movie will always hold a special place in my heart. I remember going on the Flash site every day leading up to the release when I was in 8th grade. That was my childhood. Michael Keaton is my dad's favorite Batman. Christian Bale Batman is my fave. I like Val and Christian. Christian Bale was a great Bruce Wayne. Batman Returns is one of my Christmas movies to watch. Yes, me too. And it's almost time. Well, I guess it is time. We need to have more live action Ivy. I don't know what's up with the Gotham City Sirens movie. David Ayer left Suicide Squad 2 to do Gotham City Sirens. And then they put Gotham City Sirens on hold indefinitely. And now they're doing the Suicide Squad with James Gunn, I think, who they fired and then brought back. I don't know what's going on. I want the next Poison Ivy to have green skin. Robert Pattinson's going to be great as Batman. Pattinson is he's a great actor. Pattinson is a great actor. Man, I feel for this man. Like Shim Jim, is Robert Pattinson a good actor? I only have Twilight to go off of, and those movies were not the best acted. Robert Pattinson has done like 5,000 movies since then. Like, is Twilight really going to follow this man around for the rest of his life? Didn't that movie come out like 20 years ago? I'm not like yelling at you or anything, Shim Jim. I'm just saying, like, I feel for this dude as an actor because Twilight wasn't even his first movie. Sorry, Twilight wasn't even his first movie. His first movie was motherfucking playing Cedric Diggory in The Goblet of Fire. Like, and he will always be Cedric Diggory to me. When I even first seen him in Twilight, I was like, hey, look, it's fucking Cedric Diggory. He's a really good actor. He was great in the fucking Lighthouse. Like, he was great in Metropolis. He's done a lot of, like, really weird indie movies. Like, he's really trying hard to, like, shake off this Twilight shit. Robert Pattinson is going to be, like, 60 years old. And people are going to be like, isn't that the guy from Twilight? Can he act? Y'all remember that trailer where Batman beat that one dude's ass? Yes, I loved it. I love seeing him beat the shit out of them dudes. I'm hyped. Just so angry and brutal. Like, damn, man, he's down. I definitely can see Robert Pattinson's version of Batman from what I've seen in these trailers becoming Ben Affleck. And I feel like that's what they're going for. I'm tempering my expectations with Pattinson's Batman. I hope he knocks it out of the park. After seeing American Psycho, I can see what Nolan saw in Bale to play Bruce Wayne. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is boring. Batman and Robin is fun. Anybody that tried to judge it as a serious movie lost. Those early superhero films were really trailblazers. Folks need to recognize the cinematic universe is BS in my opinion. Oh, what do you mean, Nova? Spider-Man, Hulk, Superman, you like your heroes nerdy. I do. I like nerds. Like, I really do. I really do. That's part of the point. I don't want to see no cool people get powers. For what? That's supposed to be part of the tension. Maybe because of the technology. Superhero movies today's are so over the top. Mark Ruffalo isn't bad, but the writing for the character is. Right, that's how I feel. I don't feel like, I have nothing against Mark Ruffalo, but I don't like the way that they have portrayed his version of the Hulk. Mind you, I've only seen the first Avengers. It's the only one I've seen. So, me too, Kamisha. I hope you can see it too one day in a movie theater. And oh look, Nicole, I just got to your comment. And you know they're gonna use the first season of A Different World as an excuse to have a token non-black as a main character. Didn't I say? I was like, yeah, they're gonna have some Asian or something in there. Some random. John Bernthal is great in a lot of his roles. I really like him. I think he's a really good actor. He was amazing as Shane. I love Donnie Yen. Magneto was in World War II, so he's not too old. He's a survivor of Auschwitz. How is he too old? Like, Magneto's old. They're old. Same, I identify heavily with Bruce's rage. That's that SAG energy. Rage! Ron Perlman with his black-ass family. Mystique was a real one. Yes, yes. I love that she said that. I love that they had that line. I love that Nightcrawler and Mystique had that interaction. Like, X2. Loved it. That person got fired. Mystique was a G. I was like, listen to your mom, Nightcrawler. Don't hide your blue skin. Because their mutations prevent them from blending in. People stay saying that Ian McKellen is too old and Shakespearean for Magneto, but I liked his intensity. Even as an older man, he captured how intense Magneto is. I did not ship Rogue and Logan, Rogue and Gambit forever. Anna didn't get the memo. Anna had eyes for Hugh Jackman. My husband is the Hulk. You are hilarious. Not sure I can ship Rogan, seeing as Logan is a century older than Rogue. I never shipped them. I always saw it as like a... I mean, they definitely played up like Rogue having a crush on him. But I always saw it as like an older brother or a father figure. Even from the beginning, when she's like in his truck and he like gives her the food and stuff. I think the issue was that Batman and Robin came after the more gothic Tim Burton series with Keaton, and the camp was supposed to be reminiscent of the Adam West, Burt Ward series. Right, and I love the camp. Like, I love the campiness, you know, and like Eartha Kitt as Catwoman, like, and Adam West. Like, I love the camp. I love camp. I love gothic Tim Burton, too. Like, I love them both. George Clooney's Batman only gets remembered for them nips. Them rubber nipples! They were hilarious. Folks didn't know that going in. They're literally rubber nipples. Like, Batman and Robin was one of my first gay awakenings. A lot of people say that, especially about Chris O'Donnell. Bye, Sim! When I get to the bottom, I'm gonna go. I know I'm about 10 minutes behind. So... I love Margot's Harley Quinn. I didn't know that Kaylee Cuoco was the voice of Harley Quinn in that new animated series. I didn't know that bitch was worth $55 million either. Man, that Big Bang money. That Big Bang money is long. That's that Friends money. $1 million an episode. I do like that George Clooney, Batman, even though I hate George Clooney, but I think there was such good people around him that it worked. And it wasn't forced to centrally focus on him. I like Margot as Harley in Suicide Squad. Twilight was the biggest thing. No one hates the Twilight movies more than Robert Pattinson. Like, he's literally been spending... if it hasn't been 20 years, it's been over 10. Now I feel like I've lost track of time because you guys told me that X-Men came out 20 years ago. Rob Pattinson is great. Lighthouse is one of my faves of his. Suicide Squad was not a flop. I have a serious issue with people calling Suicide Squad a flop, Miss Ting. Yeah, that new Suicide Squad movie is kind of confusing. They're trying to make up for that flop of a first one when they need to just take the L and move. I'm sorry, I'm a Suicide Squad stan. I do not allow Suicide Squad slander because it's untrue and slanderous. Suicide Squad was not a flop. It was one of the top 10 highest earning movies of that year. 2016 made over $600 million and won an Academy Award, which is why they made Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn, why they're now making a third Suicide Squad movie, and which is also why we now have a Harley Quinn animated series. That movie was not a flop. That movie was the opposite of a flop. It was one of the highest earning films of that year. Like, it's objectively, factually inaccurate to call that movie a flop, and yet I see people constantly calling it a flop. This is like an urban legend that will not go away. Like, it really blows my mind. You can just say anything. Not talking about you in particular, but like, you can be like, yeah, the movie was a flop. No, it wasn't. The movie sucked. Like, the movie was this, the movie was that. Like, well, we can like look up the numbers and see the truth. Well, thinking that it sucked is a matter of opinion, but you know, the numbers are objective. Hi! Recently watched your video where you discussed the difference between ethnicity, race, and nationality. A lot of people don't even know the difference. I'm glad you recently watched it. That's an oldie but a goodie too. Still had dreads. And that movie is still, and that video is still relevant, and people still watch it because people still don't know the difference. The studio couldn't sell enough Batman toys after Batman Returns because it was too dark. The campiness was intentional, drawing from the 60s Batman series to lighten things up. Twilight is definitely going to follow Robert Pattinson around. He couldn't even get with FKA Twigs because of those fans. And Kristen Stewart is a whole lesbian now. She was a motherfucking lesbian back then too. We all knew. They need to let it go. Hi, Kendrick Morrisley. Did Sagittarius season make me louder? It's possible. Oh yeah, he was good in Goblet of Fire. They were so young and different looking in Harry Potter. I don't be recognizing them till I rewatch stuff. Yeah, you should watch the indie stuff, Paris October. Check it out. I can't wait to see Zoe as Catwoman. The recent Batman trailer was gold standard. Jeffrey Wright's voice over dark music is so ominous. Yes, like Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. What? Can't wait to see that. Nerdish. That's why we're here. I love nerds. Let's see. I watched that new Batman trailer maybe 50 times just to hear Jeffrey Wright's voice over in the Nirvana remix. I think I like George Clooney's Batman for Uma Thurman, Michael Keaton's Batman for Michelle Pfeiffer. Hi, Jesse. Rebecca Romijn was amazing as Mystique. X-Men has way more interesting themes and characters than Avengers. Ian McKellen is an institution. Can't think of any bad choices he's made with characters. Yeah, an uncle. Right. Oh, an uncle, a brother, a friend. I didn't see Rogue and Logan as like a ship. But I know people cannot view men and women without seeing romance. Or a love triangle. Which is why we then had a love triangle between Logan, Rogue, and Bobby. Even though Logan was just not, it was like a one-sided love triangle. Like, I was like, why? But why? 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 Now we have Bobby and Rogue, and Logan comes back, and Bobby is jealous. Why? Let me keep scrolling. Let me just keep on scrolling. Let me just keep on scrolling. In the comics, they flirted, and she was a young woman, but it was just friendship. In the movie, I saw it as paternal, but they definitely played it as a crush, especially by X2. That's why Bobby was flexing, because he knew that she liked Logan. Bye, London. Kaylee Kuko was worth $55 million, The Boy in Blue. I just literally read it today. I was shocked, because she has some new shit out, The Flight Attendant. That Big Bang check is different. As sexualized as women are in their costumes, I'm here for the Batman nips. Bye, Queen. Big Bang wasn't even funny. Dry as fuck. I didn't like Suicide Squad, but it performed very well. Suicide Squad was dope. Harley is carrying this new DC wave on its back. They're trying to rebrand everything with her. Everyone in Twilight hates it. I love Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad made nearly $1 billion and didn't even release in China. Y'all gotta chill. Right, and like people keep calling that movie a flop. Suicide Squad was not a flop, nor was it an L for the studio. That's why they're putting Harley Quinn in fucking everything, because that shit made a lot of money and Harley Quinn was the breakout star. Like, you could say you didn't like it and you thought it sucked. That's fine. But I hate seeing people say that that movie was a flop, because it just wasn't a flop. It just... Not by any standard was the movie a flop. It wasn't a flop. That's like me saying because I don't like the Avengers Endgame was a flop. Like, that's just not what happened in reality. And Twilight movies were 2008 to 2012, okay. Suicide Squad made nearly $1 billion and didn't even release in China. Y'all gotta chill. And they play Suicide Squad like every fucking day. That shit's like always on TNT. Like somebody's watching. I mean, I'm watching it because I watch it every time because I love Suicide Squad. But somebody other than me is also watching it. Neither Suicide Squad nor Birds of Prey are flops. Just because they didn't meet the MCO standard doesn't mean they're a failure. It wasn't perfect. It had a lot of issues, but it was fun. Love Suicide Squad. You better put some respect on it. The first Twilight film came out in 2008. I personally dislike Birds of Prey, but I would never call it a flop. Look, Suicide Squad made over 700 mil, 746 million, and it didn't even have a global Chinese release. Like, that shit made money. And and people liked it. Ever since Avengers made $1 billion, idiots call every movie that doesn't make $1 billion a flop. Sorry, you guys know my nasal drip. I don't hate it. I just think they shouldn't have cut it at the end to make it funny. They should have stuck with the seriousness they had planned. They definitely should have. But the first serious movie out the DCEU was Man of Steel, which also was not a flop, but it got such bad reviews that Warner Brothers just got scared and they totally changed course, which was a mistake. And now they're trying to course correct with these like serious Joker movies and this like serious Batman movie by Matt Reeves. But now we're in this hole trying to dig out because they didn't just stay the course. And now we're getting this Justice League Snyder cut. And we got this Batman versus Superman director cut. They should have just let the movies come out the way they were intended to come out. And I will never stop saying that. And I've been saying that since 2016. The Panic Room, 2 white lesbian icons in one movie. Also, I hate that everybody... Hi, Richie. Also, I hate that everybody hated Jared Leto's Joker, when in reality, we didn't even get to see his full potential due to them cutting so much out. And he's coming back. All of a sudden, all these people coming back. Like, because who was the motherfucking problem? Joss was the fucking problem. But we're not about to talk about Joss, because we've already dedicated too much time to talking about Joss. Hello, nurse. Hi by any means necessary. Is some people in here that never seen Animaniacs? Give Jeff his flowers. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon means a black Batgirl. I'm here for it. Logan was clearly into Jean Grey in the film. The love triangle was so one-sided. Whoever mentioned watching Robert Pattinson's indie movies, The Lighthouse is a must, obviously, but also check out Good Time. I was trying to think of the name of it. I kept wanting to say High Time, but it's not called High Time. It's called Good Time. Okay. You can have it, Racy Cranham Girl. Listen. You can have your Logan and Rogue ship. I ship Spike and Buffy, you know? I can't judge anybody's ships. And then they had another love triangle between Logan, Scott, and Jean. Multi-ship X-Men. I always forget that Anna Kendrick is in Twilight. And she's hilarious in that shit, too. She's pretty funny. She's in Scott Pilgrim. Hilarious. I kind of feel like she's underrated. Even though she's in so many movies. And movies that have made a ton of money. Like fucking Pitch Perfect and Trolls. But at the same time, I feel like she's underrated. She's been in a lot of shit. Bye, Valerie. My mom definitely adds to the Suicide Squad spins. Yes, remember that was my Twitter handle. Academy Award winning Suicide Squad. 700 million, no album out. Will Smith, Viola Davis, and Joker and Harley Quinn made Suicide Squad an assured success. Still want to see that Ayer cut. And I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it within the next 5 years, Davey. I'm holding out hope. Isn't Pete Davidson in the new one? I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we're not talking about Joss. We're not about to talk about Joss. Fun fact, Suicide Squad was Harley's first film debut, but not live action. The character was in the Birds of Prey TV series as Dr. Quinzel. I watched that TV series too. It got canceled after only 1 season. Every time I watch SWAT, I don't know if you guys have seen SWAT, with Colin Farrell and LL Cool J and Samuel Jackson, Michelle Rodriguez, and Goose from Grease 2. But Colin Farrell's girlfriend in SWAT is the main character in the Birds of Prey TV show. She's only in the movie for like 5 seconds, and every time they show her, I always think, that's the girl from Birds of Prey. I really like that show, actually. I think they didn't really give that show a fair shake. Love Jared Leto. They should have given him some more time in Suicide Squad. My little brother just got hooked on Animaniacs, and I love that he loves it. It's like I'm reliving childhood through his eyes. I'm just about caught up. Listen. We're not gonna talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer right now. You guys have seen SWAT? Yeah, so Colin Farrell's girlfriend, that's the sister of one of the other dudes on the SWAT team. She's the main character in the Birds of Prey series that they came out with. Whoever marketed Suicide Squad needs a raise from the promos to the soundtrack. All of that was good. Joker was supposed to be the main villain in Suicide Squad, Nicole, but it didn't test well with the test audiences because he's the main villain and he's like kicking Harley's ass, and people didn't like that, so they like redid it. And then ironically, people hated his relationship with Harley because they were complaining that their relationship was like too lovey-dovey because in the comics he's so mean to her and he whoops her ass. Because them damn Warner Brothers executives did not know what the fuck they were doing. And they fucked up my movie. But I still enjoy my movie, Suicide Squad. That's still my movie. But one day we're going to get this David Ayer cut where Joker is our main villain like it was supposed to be. Bye, Gary. Happy birthday. Birds of Prey, the show, was actually a cute little show. Some problems, but still good. Their Barbara Gordon was perfect. She was great. Blonde. Glasses. She was amazing. Yes, there are Beast Bakes for both Blade movies in the Beast Bake playlist. Yep, Blade 1 and Blade 2, Natalia. If Birds of Prey was marketed by the Suicide Squad market team, it would have 8 in numbers. They were robbed. Joker abusing Harley is canon. Birds of Prey had a better soundtrack than the Charlie's Angels reboot. He was beating on her in the animated series. And that's what they were like modeling it after, but it didn't test well. Like, come on now. They should have just let David Ayer go with what he wanted. But they wanted it to be rated like PG-13 and they wanted it to be like more family friendly. How? I don't know with Suicide Squad. Those executives, there's a special place in hell for those WB executives. I'm gonna just leave it at that. The animated Batman shows Joker kick Harley out of a window. Come on, they can't show that in the movie. In the scene in Suicide Squad where Harley falls out of the helicopter, in the original cut, in the original version of Suicide Squad, he like pushed her out of the helicopter on purpose. And that part was supposed to be like a direct nod to that scene in the animated Batman series when he pushes her out of that window. But again, it did not test well, so they changed it to like she falls out of the helicopter by mistake, and like he's upset. That's not how it was supposed to go. There's all this footage floating around of him like slapping her, like all this shit that we never saw in the movie. Him pulling a gun on her, all this shit that we never saw in the movie because they cut it out. Oh, sorry. I said blonde. Redhead. Sorry. We have to watch Suicide Squad. Oh, yeah, you know, I don't know if we've ever watched Suicide Squad. We should watch that one. We definitely can because there's 2 black main characters. What are your thoughts for screen testing movies? What do you mean keep making? You don't want any beef? You don't want any beef? Leave artists alone. McDonald's employee came up with the Joker script for that movie. Leave artists alone. Absurd. Put me in the test audience. The name of the movie is Suicide Squad. Come on now. Family friendly. Happy birthday, fellow Sags. Joker did Harley dirty. Hi, John. Who the hell was in the test screening? How can I get that job? You know, I'm going to look that up because I don't actually know very much about test screenings and how they work. I'm going to look that up. These damn focus groups. The executives panicked and wanted Suicide Squad to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, humorous anti-heroes. Right, and that's just not what it is. Producers and test audiences stay being trash. There's a cross in sensibility seeing violence on animated characters versus a live human being, especially when they want it to potentially be kid-friendly. You can Google the footage. You can Google, like, Google something like Suicide Squad, Joker, Harley, motorcycle scene. Something like that. 2016, cut footage, unreleased footage. They only showed, like, the flashback, but the whole scene was supposed to be that, like, Joker tries to, like, leave Harley when she's, like, still Harleen or whatever. She, like, busts him out of jail because he, like, asked her for a gun. She, like, gets the gun in somehow. She, like, busts him out of jail. Then he tries to, like, leave her behind. She chases him on the motorcycle. And then she, like, crashes her motorcycle into his car. And then he, like, gets out of the car. And then, like, a truck driver comes up. This part they showed in the movie, the truck driver coming up. The truck driver comes up and she, like, grabs his gun and she, like, shoots the truck driver in the head. And then she, like, pulls the gun on him. And then they have, like, a whole scene where he's just like, I really don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, I was just using you to get out of Arkham. Like, you're not coming with me. Like, I'll kill you right now. I don't give a fuck. And she, like, pulls the gun on him and, like, puts the gun to his head. And he's like, oh, you're going to kill me? Like, do it then. Like, pull the trigger. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And then she doesn't do it. And then he, like, takes the gun from her. And then he, like, backhands the fuck out of her and knocks her ass out. But he likes the fact that she pulled the gun on him. So then he, like, takes her to the chemical plant. They chopped and screwed up that whole scene because, like, people didn't like that he backhanded the shit out of her. But you can see the backhand. Like, the footage is out there. You can, like, see it. They filmed it. If you Google, like, Suicide Squad unreleased footage, you will go down a rabbit hole. I didn't have to go down the rabbit hole because I followed the production very closely. But you can find it. Do you feel like screen testing movies can compromise the art of the film? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Krayshawn. Oh, we're almost to the end. We're finishing up. Aren't folks invited to those test screenings? Yeah, I don't know if they're like all industry people. I don't know how it works. They need to show Joker and Harley's abusive relationship. It's relatable, but they want to pander to white feminism only, I guess. Kid-friendly equals more money. To be a test screener, you have to be white and have children. There's a Netflix doc. Oh, there's a documentary on it? I'm going to look for it. I feel like Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer said that sometimes studios use their own relatives and friends for test audiences, which is bad. I remember a particular influencer saying they send out invitations to specific people in the industry and those people are allowed a +1. I'm going to Google this. I don't know how people genuinely like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's too cheesy and childish for me. Yes, I did. I did read that long ass fic. I've read so many Joker Harley fanfics. You don't even know. It was going to be a totally different movie. Suicide Squad, as they had it planned, it was going to be Joker as the main villain, and it was going to be very close to Batman the Animated Series. That's why even certain scenes, like the scene where they're in the car and they're being chased by Batman, feels like something out of Batman the Animated Series. That was like the inspiration, but it didn't test well. The audiences didn't like, they really didn't like seeing the abuse. Like, they didn't like it. But then, like I said, audiences complained about it not being there later on. I noticed how the marketing for Suicide Squad took a 180 after those test screenings. It went from dark to light and funny. That first trailer sold me, but it all changed. They introduced pop songs and everything. Why does the Joker like the fact that Harley pulled the piece on him? And look, Chassie gave you the answer, because he's crazy. He liked that she stood up to him and pulled the gun on him. He just liked it. It's the Joker. He likes stuff like that. Do you think that they will make an Ayer cut after Suicide Squad 2 is successful? I hope they will. I think they will. Especially because they're obviously mining for content for HBO Max. So even if it's just like a streaming only release, I think they will. I think they will. I think they will. I've definitely read somewhere that men aged 18 to 25 are always targeted the most for testing, and that creates problems. Interesting about the test screenings. I'm going to look for that documentary too. Joker and Harley abuse is part of the story. So annoying how they ruin the base material. Making it light undercuts their relationship dynamic. Totally agree. Ayer cut was trending after they said they were releasing the Snyder Cut. Because people were like, there is no Snyder Cut. There is no Snyder Cut. There is no Snyder Cut. And there motherfucking is. And we know there's an Ayer cut too. And they keep telling us that there's not. And we know that it is. Because so many scenes got chopped and screwed or cut. Where are those scenes? It's not like... you really want me to believe that, what, those scenes were destroyed? Why would they do that? Like, and I'm sure they didn't film it on real film. I'm sure they filmed it digital. That's just probably sitting on a hard drive somewhere on the WB lot. Why would it be destroyed? I just don't believe that. I don't believe it. It's somewhere. Joker is crazy and an agent for violent chaos. Right. Like, he liked that she shot that truck driver and then she, like, pulled the gun on him. He liked it. Don't try to make him make sense. I feel like all them find something to be mad at rather than reviewing. Totally agree. Absurd. I wrote an article on that for Nylon a few years ago. I'll link it to you in Discord. Idris is going to be replacing Will, but he's not going to be replacing him as Deadshot. He's going to be a different character. Journalists are still saying the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. They refuse to take that L. Right, Ori, yes and no. He's replacing the role, but not recasting the character. Elba's going to be Bloodsport. People made a big fuss about not wanting him to be Deadshot because Will Smith is perfect as Deadshot. And people wanted to, like, leave it open for in case Will Smith ever decided to come back and be Deadshot again. So now he's going to be Bloodsport. The Joker is paying. Joker is a manic pixie. Like, I'm sitting... don't try to make sense of Batman who laughs. Yeah, Joker just doesn't... He's a different type. Joker's love is literally toxic. He loves someone by wanting to beat them up. I really hope Will comes back. Will Smith has come far. Bye, Mel. I think I'm getting to the bottom, too. Can they not afford Will's salary anymore, or is he busy? At first, it was that... first, they were going to make Suicide Squad 2, and David Ayer was going to come back, and the cast was going to come back. But then they were originally going to start filming like right away, and Will Smith had got Aladdin, so he wasn't going to come back because he was going to do Aladdin. But then they said they weren't going to do Suicide Squad 2 anymore, and that they were going to do Gotham City Sirens. So then David Ayer dropped out, but that doesn't seem right because they said they weren't doing Suicide Squad 2 anymore. So then David Ayer signed on to do Gotham City Sirens. Then they decided they were going to do Suicide Squad 2, and they brought in James Gunn, and now Gotham City Sirens is indefinitely shelved because they decided to do Birds of Prey instead. And so there's been all of this like it's going to be Gotham City Sirens, it's going to be Birds of Prey, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And so Will Smith, I think just his schedule, you know, the scheduling of these WB movies, you know, like there was going to be a Cyborg movie, and then like there wasn't, and then now there might be again, and Flashpoint, maybe not. Ben Affleck's coming back, Snyder Cut. Like, it's very hard, I think, for actors to like sign on to a timeline because everything's being like rearranged. So I think Will just couldn't come back. I don't know if they can afford his salary too. I don't know. After he did Aladdin, maybe he wants more money. I, too, did not want Idris to replace Will, and I'm glad Idris is just playing another character instead. Yeah. Why can't we get Sirens and Birds of Prey? I mean, as far as I know, Gotham City Sirens is not canceled. So I don't know what they're going to do. The Birds of Prey are literally the Gotham City Sirens. No, the Gotham City Sirens is Harley, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. Gotham City Sirens would be better than Birds of Quinn. It's not canceled, so right, it's postponed. Right, like the Millennium Tour, it's postponed right, like, and then COVID came, so I feel like a lot of things have been postponed indefinitely, but technically they're not canceled. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't know if Will's gonna come back. I don't know if they're still gonna do Gotham City Sirens. I don't know what they're gonna do, so we'll see. It was Margot Robbie's decision. She had the choice between Sirens or Birds. She said she chose Birds. Oh, I guess. Well, they might still do Gotham City Sirens, though. Like, it's not canceled. And I feel like if this third Suicide Squad movie does well, which it probably will, because, like, Birds of Prey didn't do bad either, and that was, like, a COVID release, they're going to keep wanting to do more Harley Quinn properties. So it makes no sense for them to not do Gotham City Sirens. If this Batman movie comes out and do well, and they decide to do Gotham City Sirens with Margot Robbie and Zoe as Catwoman, I kind of feel like I feel like they're definitely putting the pieces in place that if they do decide to move forward with Gotham City Sirens, they will be able to. They'll just need a Poison Ivy. Birds of Quinn is very funny. Millennium Tour. Birds of Prey was technically the Harley Quinn movie, so Sirens would be what Birds of Prey should have been. Birds of Quinn. Birds of Prey gave us Journey as Black Canary. I'm good. Same. I really like Birds of Prey. Some things are done but not replaced. Hi, Tiara. Margot going to jail for picking Birds of Prey. Yeah, we could. We can watch Birds of Prey for a Beast Bake, definitely. Zoe finna eat Margot up. Birds of Prey in the comics started with Oracle and Black Canary. I only like Journey as Black Canary. I'm just waiting on Flashpoint. We'll see. How does that work? Margot's Harley exists in the same universe as older Batfleck. Whoop. Whoa. Oh, I hit the button. Sorry. Whoops. I hit the button by mistake. Sorry. I really don't know. I don't know, honestly. I don't know what the timeline is. I really don't know, Ori. Because I also kind of feel like this is just a feeling. I also low-key feel like they're setting up Robert Pattinson and Joaquin Phoenix for some type of crossover as well. So we'll see. Birds of Prey is the highest grossing superhero film of 2020. Listen, it can all be fixed with Flashpoint. Yeah. With Flashpoint, we can mess around with time. So I guess we'll see how they end up playing that out. Since they've said that they're rolling out the current slate of movies on HBO Max as well as in theaters, I think that they're freeing up some space to maybe try out some other things. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And I'm at the bottom. I know a lot of people want Rihanna as Poison Ivy. I love the idea of Rihanna as Poison Ivy, but I agree that, well, I kind of think Rihanna is too old to be Poison Ivy. Sorry. I kind of think Rihanna is too old to be Poison Ivy. Like, if they do a Gotham City Sirens movie with Zoe Kravitz, I'm not saying they will, but let's just say they did a Gotham City Sirens movie with Zoe Kravitz and Margot Robbie. I think Rihanna would be too old to be Poison Ivy. I just think the way that she presents herself is a little too mature. Because, like, Poison Ivy and Harley become love interests. So, I don't want to see that. Sorry. I think that she presents too mature. Maybe old is not the right word. I'm not saying she looks old, but I feel like Rihanna presents too mature to be the Poison Ivy to Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Like, I don't know. Not more mature. I think she presents as too mature. I think she presents as too mature. Like, that's just how I feel. I feel like Rihanna presents as too mature. So, sorry. But, in my defense, I've also been a Rihanna stan for a really long time. And when I look at Rihanna nowadays, she resembles her mother to me. Because I know how Rihanna's mom looks. Because I'm very familiar with Rihanna's parents and her family members. So, right. Like, she presents as too mature. Right. Like, she's always immaculate and regal. And I know that Poison Ivy is more mature, but I think that Rihanna presents as too mature to be Poison Ivy. Because Poison Ivy still puts up with Harley Quinn shit. And I just don't feel like Rihanna presents to me as the type of person. And I'm talking about how she looks. And I don't think that Rihanna is a good enough actress for me to look at her and not see Rihanna, personally. So the way that Rihanna presents to me, my opinion, is too mature to play the Poison Ivy to Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I just don't see it. 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 Like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I feel like it's become, like, right, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's too recognizable. Like, I'm going to look at her and I'm going to see Rihanna. And I don't think Rihanna is a good enough actress for me to look at her and not see Rihanna. And I think that Rihanna presents as too mature, immaculate, regal, whatever you want to call it, to put up with the bullshit of Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. It's not believable to me. So, I don't want her. I like the idea of Rihanna as Poison Ivy, but I don't like the idea of Rihanna as Poison Ivy in a movie with Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn or Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman. Like, I just don't think that that would be good casting. And I think that people are stuck on the idea. Right, the idea is good, Owen. And I think people are stuck on the idea of Rihanna as Poison Ivy, but does Rihanna as Poison Ivy actually fit into the universe that we already have? I don't think that she does. So that's what I mean. I don't think that it works. Maybe Rihanna previously in her career, like unapologetic era Rihanna, absolutely. Or loud, like people love loud era Rihanna as Poison Ivy. People love it, but like that's not who Rihanna is anymore. Like Rihanna's not that girl anymore. Like she's grown and matured a lot. She's not that girl anymore. So, like I said, I'm Rihanna Navy, so like I don't, you know, like I've been following Rihanna since her first album. Like I loved her first album. I loved her second album, Music of the Sun, Jams. So I have like a lot of feelings invested in Rihanna and how I see her. So yeah. I would never like, I'm not, that's why I said like not old. Like maybe that's not the right way to put it. I'm not trying to say that Rihanna's old. Rihanna's not fucking old, but you know, I see what you mean. Ivy would be like, nah, kick that bitch out the car while it's still moving. Right. Because like, especially like Margot Robbie's Harley is fucking annoying and off the chain. I feel like Rihanna would just be like, please somebody, I'm gonna kill this bitch. Like I'm gonna kill this bitch myself. Like she just has to go. Rihanna does not look like she could deal with Margot as Harley, right? All I see is Ree. I want Boo Boo Kitty from Empire to be Poison Ivy. I see it now. Ree gives off grown woman. Journey and Margot had lovely chemistry in Birds of Prey. The idea is good. I don't know if it will work. Right, it could work, but it has to be done well. I get what you mean. She lacks the playfulness. The idea is good, but it will not work. The fantasy is better than the reality. Right, Nicole. Who would I choose for Poison Ivy? I definitely like the idea of her as a black girl. I wouldn't be mad if they picked Rihanna. I would want to see her do it. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't pick her if it was up to me. Fans might complain if Zoe is still Catwoman for Sirens and they choose another black girl to be Ivy. Well, I wouldn't motherfucking complain. No, 30's not old. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not calling Rihanna old. I'm just saying for what it seems like they're going for, I don't know. Like, Rihanna's like grown and sexy. Like, Rihanna's not putting up with the bullshit. Like, Margot Robbie as Harley, like, paired with a kid made sense. Even though I know you hated that, Boy in Blue. But, you know, like, now I could see maybe Zoe Kravitz as Ivy and somebody else as Catwoman, but I like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman too. I'm really gonna think about that. Like, I'm really gonna think about that. No, 30 is not old. 30 is absolutely not old at all. Like, not even a little bit. I'm really thinking. No, not Zendaya. I'm not fan casting Zendaya in anything until at least 2030. Too much Zendaya. People want Zendaya in everything. No, and I have nothing against Zendaya. Just like I'm saying, like, I have nothing personally against Rihanna. You guys know I love Rihanna. Like, that's my girl. Like, I'm not calling her old. Like, but, like, no. No. No, not Zendaya. Somebody else. I don't know, maybe an unknown girl. I'm kind of liking the idea of like Zoe as Poison Ivy and like somebody else as Catwoman. But, you know, let me think about this. Who would I cast as Poison Ivy? Now that you guys have said that, I'm kind of liking the idea of Zoe as Poison Ivy, and like Kiki Lane as Catwoman, because I think that might be fun and interesting. Like Kiki Lane as Catwoman and Zoe as Poison Ivy and Margot as Harley. And so then we have like this like push pull between like Kiki Lane and Margot, and I feel like that might be kind of funny and interesting to see, something like that. I think that's what I would fan cast for Gotham City Sirens. Kiki Lane, Zoe Kravitz, Margot. I started to say Harley Quinn. Margot. Or yeah, Nefessa. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I think I could see Nefessa as Poison Ivy. Like, because Nefessa's sexy, flirty, something like that. Yeah, like that. I like that. I like that. Nefessa too. I like that. Nefessa or Kiki Lane. Them two. Not Zendaya though. No. Nothing against Zendaya. But no. Owen, please stop. No more Zendaya. For real, they want her in everything. Zendaya for Amanda Waller. Zendaya for the Punisher. Love Zendaya, but give somebody else a chance. 30's not old, Ori. It's not. I like that. Plus a dark-skinned black woman is Catwoman. Yeah, I think I'm voting for something like that. Nefessa or Kiki. Nova's like, yes, give it to me now. She better write a letter to the WB executives. This who you need to cast. Zendaya for Batman. Zendaya for Black Panther. Goodbye. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're leaving. We're over. Sunday is Beastbake. I want to start with Jingle Jangle. Zendaya for Bane. I want to start with Jingle Jangle, and then we can vote on the rest. Bye.